Hi, my name's Joe Dent. I'm the vicar of St Andrew's Church in Plymouth. Welcome to A Bit More, a series of short videos about key things in the Christian faith. Today I want to talk to you a bit more about heaven. Why do Christians believe in it? How do you get there? And I guess the best place to start, what are we even talking about? Heaven, when Christians talk about heaven, we're talking about God's place, the place where God dwells, where God lives. It's the place that Jesus came from. It's the place that he returned to. So the Apostle Paul can say in one of his letters, I desire to depart and be with Jesus. And what he means is, I desire to depart and go to heaven, because heaven is the place where Jesus is. It's Jesus's place. Or at least it is for the time being. Because the ultimate hope of the Christian faith is not that we will go to heaven, but that heaven will come down to us. For sure, when someone dies with Jesus, the promise is that they go straight to heaven to be with him. For example, when Jesus himself was dying on the cross and one of the criminals on the cross next to him put his faith in Jesus there and then, Jesus promised him, today you will be with me in paradise. And I'm sure he was, and I'm sure he still is. But that's not the end of his story. That's not the end of the story for anyone who goes to heaven. Listen to these words that come from the very end of the Bible, the vision at the end of the Bible. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, now the dwelling of God is with men, and he will live with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. That's what we're really looking forward to in the Christian faith. Heaven coming down to earth, or rather God coming down to earth, Jesus coming down to earth to dwell with us here. When that happens, the world will finally be the wonderful kind of place that God always intended it to be, and the kind of place that our hearts long for. But I guess all that could sound pretty far-fetched. Why are we so sure that heaven is real and that it's coming down to earth in a new creation? Well, lots of people have a sneaking suspicion that there must be more to life than just what we can see, than what's around us. And I think lots of people have a deep sense that death feels wrong, that it just shouldn't be the end of a person. And feelings like that lead us to a vague sense that there must be another place. There must be a better place, or at least we hope so. Now, feelings like that are a clue, but they're not much to go on, and they're not the reason that Christians are so sure about heaven. The real reason Christians are sure about heaven is Jesus. Jesus spoke with clarity and certainty about heaven and a new creation. And the reason we believe the things he said is because he himself came back from the dead. We wouldn't believe all the strange things that people have claimed down the ages about the afterlife. Why would we? But when someone who speaks about these things dies, and then himself comes back from the dead, rises again, well, it makes you take the things he says seriously. Jesus is the reason that we're so sure. So then, what did Jesus say about the way to heaven? The Bible doesn't really say much about where heaven is. One of Jesus' disciples once asked him, Lord, we don't know where you're going, so how can we know the way there? And in answer, Jesus didn't give them a map or anything like that. He simply said to them, the way to heaven isn't so much a path as a person. He said to them, I am the way. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Did you notice what Jesus said just there? Because it kind of contradicts our natural assumptions that if there is a heaven, then I must automatically be going there. And Jesus says to us, no, you're not. No one is. Not without me. So put your hand in my hand and I will take you there. And I think that's one of the most important things that anyone needs to know about heaven, that it's going to be a God-centered, Jesus-centered kind of place. So the Bible urges us that if we want to go there, then we should become God-centered, Jesus-centered kinds of people in the here and now. And if you want to know a little bit more about that, then please do follow the link in the notes that go along with this video. This has been a little bit more about heaven, and there is lots more that could be said. And if you want to find out more and think about it more, then why not start with the Bible passages that I've mentioned in this video? And again, I've put links to those in the notes with the video. Thanks for listening.